FNaF news. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about Funko, Youtooz, Hex, the FNaF 2 movie, and more. Now, starting off with the movie news, we have just gotten word that the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie will not be the final one. Originally, it was said that this series would only go on for 3 movies, with the third one being the final one. They have said that they were considering spin-offs, either like with movies, spin-off movies, or maybe even some shows, but now it seems they're going to be going beyond the original trilogy with the movies and making more. We are still uncertain if this means spin-off movies or if this means it's continuing from the trilogy onward to a quadrilogy and then a pentrilogy and then a hex trilogy. I don't know what they're called. My assumption is that we will continue the trend of movie being game, like the first movie being the first game, second movie being the second game, third movie being the third game, and now the fourth movie being the fourth game. If true, this could be big news. Ever since the FNaF movie was first announced back in 2016, we did have suspicion that it might be based on FNaF 4 because of that animatronic we thought was Fredbear, and now with them going beyond just the 3 movies, it seems a FNaF 4 movie could finally be happening. Of course, nothing confirmed there, but still, either way, very exciting to know that they do plan on making more than 3 movies. FNaF will live on. Now, a little bit of FNaF 2 movie news here is that Markiplier apparently said,
I'll tell you straight up, I haven't received a call, a text, an email. I haven't received a nudge. No one on Kakao Talk has messaged me about the FNaF movie. I know nothing. They have not reached out to me. I'm not going to be in it because they haven't even talked to me about it. Give up on your dreams. I, the FNaF guy, am never going to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and get over it. Maybe. But they haven't reached out to me at all. So I'm sorry that ruins your day and ruins your existence, but think how I feel. Scott Cawthon doesn't love me anymore.
Now, immediately hearing this, it sounds sad. It sounds like our boy Markiplier will not be in the FNaF 2 movie, because that's what he's saying, but this doesn't actually necessarily mean he won't be in it. If you remember, last year with the FNaF 1 movie, MatPat said something very similar.
That's cool, good! Good for them, man! I mean, you know, it's like, employee of the month. Whatever. It's not hating or anything. I'm glad. Good for them. So happy for them.
Yeah. Good
yeah.
for them.
People getting represented.
But of course, he was in the movie, so the same thing could be happening with Markiplier. Now, of course, this does not confirm he will be in the movie, and it does not confirm he won't be in the movie. I do think he might be in it, since he was supposed to be in the first one, but he was busy filming his movie, so he couldn't. This time, he's not filming his movie, and he is also wording this differently than he did last time. Plus, Scott Cawthon has said that he does want Markiplier in the FNaF 2 movie, and he hopes to get him on there. So I do think it's possible he could be coming in the FNaF 2 movie, but only time will tell. Speaking of Markiplier and other YouTubers in the FNaF movies, we've just got word from Dawko on Markiplier's Power Wash Pals podcast. On Markiplier's Power Wash Pal podcast, he had Dawko on as a guest, where Dawko said he was originally supposed to have a role in the FNaF 1 movie, but because of visa complications, he was not able to go. He was apparently offered a second role, which would have been remote, I assume, where he was going to be dressed in a dog costume on TV, saying, "What's going on, guys? Dawgo back again. Hope you are fantastic today," which he declined. He declined because he said the cameo would break the film's immersion, which I do agree with. I do think if Dawko came on screen and said, "What's going on, guys? Dawgo back again," that would make the movie not as good. I do think it would have been hilarious. It would have been probably the funniest part of the movie, but I think it was a good call, and I respect Dawko a lot for declining that, because having a role, a speaking role in the movie of the franchise that, like, your whole life is centered around, that's a crazy thing to decline. I wouldn't be able to do that, so doing that just to make sure the movie's better, good job, Dawko. Now, speaking of Dawko, popping in here because on Dawko's recent charity stream, some huge news was just revealed. When the $60,000 goal was reached, Steelwool Studios let him show this GIF, which not only shows the Mimic on stage as one of the statues, implying there will likely be at least one new level added to the game so we can see the statue, already awesome, but also this plushie was seen of Tiger Rock. Of course, major lore implications there. Tiger Rock in an official FNaF game is crazy. But what's even more insane is that this update is coming Tuesday, 2 days from now. So in just 2 days, we're gonna be able to see the Mimic in VR as well as a Tiger Rock plush and whatever this update ends up being. It's entirely possible that the update is just a few things added to the game, like this. But like I mentioned before, I am certain that there will at least be one new level, but we don't know. All we know is the Mimic is gonna be there, a Tiger Rock plush is gonna be there, and this stuff is coming on Tuesday. I am so excited for this. I really hope it ends up being close to like an actual DLC. I really hope we get a bunch of levels. Really no idea, but I cannot wait for this. Now, speaking of Dawko and the FNaF movie, Dawko has posted some new images of Hex's FNaF movie clothing. There's this one here that shows that yellow rabbit design on a shirt, which he's also posted an image of showing the same design is gonna be on a hoodie on the back of it, and the front of it will have the 4 missing children along with the yellow rabbit. I think the hoodie design looks pretty sick. I like what they did with that. And in this wave of merchandise, we'll also be getting the FNaF movie Cupcake plush, which we have gotten a new look at here with the front view. This is now the second prototype of the plush, so still not complete, but I will say it does look very good. I think they're doing a pretty good job with this guy. Along with this image, we got this one of his mouth being open with a bunch of detail on the inside. It looks horrifying, it looks disgusting, but it is accurate. Except for, like, the printing is flipped the wrong way, I believe. But that will be fixed in the next version. So yeah, very terrifying plush there, but a cool feature having the openable mouth. And we also got revealed another special feature, which is that it will have a light-up candle. I also want to say thank you, Dawko, for letting me tweet these images as exclusive news. That was very cool. Little detail here in this image is that in the corner, you can see what appears to be the bag for the sister location plushies, which also strangely looks like it's monochrome. It appears to have black and white art of the characters on it, which I believe is not going to be in the final version. I assume this is just a prototype one and that's why it's not colored, but I honestly don't know. It could be like that in the final version. No way of knowing. This bag is what the sister location plushies will come inside of, and luckily our boy Johnny Blocks has gotten us an exclusive look at some of those. This is actually our first look at the Ballora plush, which I've got to say looks really good. I think they did a very good job with this. Definitely better than the Funko one. It is a little scary looking, but I think it looks really good. It's also apparently going to have wires in, I believe, the arms and the legs, so you can pose them, so that's a little unique detail about her. Along with this, Dawko also showed us an image of the prototype version of this plush, which looks so terrifying. I don't know why she's pink. Maybe Hex just got finished reading the Gumdrop Angel book and got the two characters confused, but I'm glad to see it looks like this now. We also got a new image of the Funtime Foxy plush, which I think looks pretty good as well. I don't believe there are any too striking changes about it other than the shape being better, so not too much to talk about here, but it definitely looks cool. Let's talk about a bit of Funko stuff here now. On eBay recently, we got some listings for prototype versions of what appear to be the Withered animatronic pop figures. figures. This one is clearly Withered Bonnie, a pop figure we have already gotten one of in the past, but we do know we're going to be getting a new one, and as you can see, the arm is in a different position, and this is the new version of the figure. Now this is pretty crazy. I don't believe we've ever had a FNAF figure get revealed like this from, I said a prototype, but it's more of a factory error, I believe people were saying, like it wasn't good enough to get painted and sold, so now it just is still like this. So that's a very interesting way that a thing has gotten revealed now. I will say I am disappointed that his design has not changed basically at all from the original Withered Bonnie pop figure. I was hoping for something new, but at least the people that were not able to get the original can now get this one, which will, I believe, look very similar. Now along with this, there was also a version of, I believe, Withered Freddy, which does kind of just look like normal Freddy, unfortunately. First of all, I'll say big news here. I believe this is the first time Funko has made any Withered Freddy merchandise, so that's cool to see. But yeah, I am disappointed by this, because Funko has been doing really good with pop figures recently. They've been making new molds for pretty much all of them, so them just randomly reusing the original FNAF 1 Freddy figure to make this is sad. We have not yet seen Withered Chica or Withered Foxy, so hopefully those are a bit better than these two, like having new molds and stuff. Only time will tell, but fingers crossed. Speaking of figures, when Youtooz was advertising their Black Friday sale, one of the images showed this in the corner, which appears to be the Golden Freddy from the FNAF movie. This is a figure I don't believe we've ever even had announced in the past, so being able to see it here is confirmation that we are getting one, and I think from what we can see, it will look pretty good. Of course, it is just a silhouette, and we don't even get to see the full thing, but it does appear to be pretty withered, just like the one from the movie. I am unsure if this is going to be just a Golden Freddy figure, or if it's going to be connected with the Abby figure, because I do believe we heard Abby would either be a part of a 2-pack, or something of the sort, so it might be this with Abby, or maybe this is alone and Abby's with something else. We don't know for sure yet, but this thing I assume we'll be seeing pretty soon. From this wave of action figures, we're also going to be getting the Balloon Boy figure, which we now have gotten a look at for the back of the box. Now moving on from the FNAF movie merch, let's move on to some FNAF movie leaks. So big red exclamation point if you don't like leaks, go watch my merch collection video instead. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about some leaks here. I guess you would call them leaks. These are casting calls for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, which do seemingly reveal some scenes for the movie. So we have casting calls like this one here, saying it's going to be filming for the Music Box movie, which we know is Five Nights at Freddy's. They're looking for men and women over 25 years of age to play staff. Staff doesn't specify anything really. It could be people just out in a grocery store or people inside of a pizzeria. That's the thing with these casting calls. It gives us a general description of what the role will be or what the scene will be, but nothing specific. Now this one doesn't matter much, but there are other ones like this one which we can kind of infer what might be happening. This one's very interesting. It says they're looking for teenagers ages 13 to 19 to play cosplay teen. I believe it said in the description they're looking for teenagers to play characters at like a Comic-Con type of thing, where they're going to be cosplaying like the role title implies, which sounds very out of place for the movie. When I first saw this, I assumed that it probably meant there was gonna be like a Halloween scene, like maybe the movie took place in October and there was gonna be trick-or-treating, but other fans have suggested that maybe this is going to be kids at some type of event in a FNAF location where they're dressing up as the characters, or even, big thing here, maybe they're gonna be the kids from Fredbear's Family Diner. Of course, there's nothing confirming that here. It does just say cosplay teens, but the fact that they are looking for teenagers that are gonna be in some type of costume, and they're gonna be available for multiple days, so it must be a scene that's somewhat long or extravagant. So maybe it could be the FNaF 4 scene. But if this actually does end up being the FNaF 4 Bite of 83 scene, I have no idea how that's going to go down. Because Mike's younger brother, of course, got kidnapped. Garrett got kidnapped. He didn't kill Garrett. So if there was a Bite of 83, it would have to be some other character doing it. I have thought in the past that it would be really cool to have Vanessa do the Bite of 83 and have some type of younger sibling end up killing them. That could make sense because she actually is the daughter of William Afton, and we know that William Afton's son in the games is the one that gets killed during the Bite of 83. So maybe that's a possibility, but no way of knowing until we see the film. We also have this one saying park kids ages 6 to 14. No info really on this one. We just know they're going to be, I assume, kids playing at a park. They could also be kids just playing inside of the pizzeria. This one doesn't really matter much. They're also looking for middle school students, which are going to be there for 3 days, which are the same 3 days as the cosplaying kids, which makes me think these might be more people that are gonna be at Fredbear's, if it is a Fredbear's scene. It could also just be 2 different scenes they're filming on the same day, but I would assume they're going to be in the same scene, so I don't know, maybe it could be Fredbear's. Now here is where things get a little bit strange. We've gotten some casting calls for a film called Heartstrings, which we think might also be the FNaF movie. I believe there have been cases where either they have had the same email, but like the wrong name, like Heartstrings, but with the Music Box email or something like that. Or there have been cases where it said Music Box, but was changed to Heartstrings, which could either be them just making mistakes when posting the casting calls, or it could be them realizing everybody knows Music Box is the FNaF movie, so let's give it a new name so people don't know what it is. But they have also still done listings called Music Box even after we've gotten these Heartstrings one. So they might be completely different movies, but they might be the same, so I'm still gonna go over the casting calls here. So the roles here, they're waitstaff, there's parents, there's neighborhood trick-or-treaters, there's child photo double, there's dark hair little boy, and those are the 6. Now people are theorizing here that the birthday party kids means that they're gonna be like at a birthday party at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. They think the waitstaff is gonna be waiters or whatever at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza or Fredbear's Family Diner. The parents are the parents of the kids there. Neighborhood trick-or-treater might be other people in costumes. Child photo double right here says a blonde little girl, which people think might be young Vanessa, and dark hair little boy. And dark hair little boy, people are thinking could be like Mike or the crime child from the Bite of 83 or something like that. It's very possible Heartstrings is a completely separate thing and is not the FNaF movie. It's possible it is the FNaF movie. There isn't any way of us knowing right now. There's evidence pointing towards both, I guess. We have no idea. This stuff is really interesting though, the casting calls. Like, cosplaying teens is so intriguing to me. Are they gonna have the Bite of 83? I sure hope so, man. The Bite of 83 could be so cool. That's like the scene that I've been wanting the most to see in a FNaF movie is the Bite of 83. It's just such like an impactful thing from the original game, and seeing it in a movie would be so cool. Of course though, no way of knowing if that's actually gonna happen or not until we get more evidence, maybe being in teasers, trailers, or other casting calls, maybe even not even knowing until the movie comes out, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that is all the news we have today, so if you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch one of my last news videos, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, you can click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on the FNaF